Hello and welcome back to another episode. We've just about finished this BA behind me. This is our twin turbo Bunnings BA and it's nearly done. And we've actually got two more projects that are relatively close to being finished. And we've made a simple wager. What's that wager? It's $500 to the first person who crosses this line coming out of my bank account. So I either save $500 or I'm spending $500. But either way, something's getting done. It's going to be either the S13 in my camp or the Radner in Chucky's camp. I believe Chucky has decided to barra swap the car. The rules are pretty simple. First one to cross this commit line, driving under its own power, wins the money. Now, I am going to allow a little bit of cheating. It doesn't necessarily have to have a radiator or a power steering or just stuff, but it has to be close enough to drive under its own power. It can't be just off the key. Who's going to win? Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the S13, but we'll see how this video pans out, and I'm a little bit nervous. So thanks for watching. This is going to be a little bit of a different video, but I'm so excited to bring a different platform onto this channel, and I hope you guys like it.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video on Pezomatics. Today, since the BA is pretty much ready, just needs a dyno, and sorted out, we're going to start on the Radner. So I've had questions about it, and I've been talking to Jory, and I reckon we've put a barra in it with a 4-speed manual and just turned into like a little drift car, fun car. And that's what we're going to get started on today. And because it's got a BA front end on it now, so we can put the conversion in to get sorted out all the suspension geometry and stuff, we're just going to run, it'll be like a mid-engine pretty much barra. Because we have to cut up all this firewall section to fit the tunnel and put the bell housing through there. Because all of this, because the motor will sit pretty much under the dash, pretty much. So we're chopping pretty much this whole section out and sorting out everything, sorting out all the steering arms and everything, sorting everything. All right, beautiful. Oh, look at me go. Hey guys, back for another check-up on the Radner, how the barra conversion's going. So far I've just started cutting out pretty much half the firewall and tunnel because it's got a lot. Yeah, she's nearly a mid-mount. But I'll give you this quick, there's the motor's just sitting in there so far, just dummied. Got a big hole there. Go around the other way and get a view of the hole. So she's overly large, and I still got to get more out because it's got a gearbox that I've got to pull and put in, and that's where the motor's going to sit. And then once you add the gearbox here, so I probably have to cut. Tunnel probably going to get cut to about here. Because then once we do that, and the shifter should be preferably pretty much where Joy's fabbied up shifter would be. So it'll be in a good position. That's what she's looking like at the moment, not bad. Just giving everyone a check up. The bar's doing nothing, that's doing nothing. She's just sitting in there. Yeah, she's decent old. Like water temp sensors on the back of these barrows heads will be no problem changing in this car. And then I'll come back to a clip once we get further in, and I'll bolt the bell housing on, and then show you where the end of the bell housing is going to sit, and then we'll be back. We'll be back. All right, so we're back. There's a bit more cutting on the old tunnel and on the firewall a little bit, just to get the gearbox bell housing in. So we're about there, the bell housing fits, the box will fit in. Just got to remake half the firewall, which is not bad, pretty good. I'll give you a quick view around. Look at that, she's pretty. So it'll have, well, we'll put braces here, obviously, to there, from the corners to there, and there'll be Zeus clip tin plates. So So if we ever blow a clutch up or anything, just pull that plate off, undo the belly housing, and then we just pull the belly housing off, flick the clutch in, and put the belly housing back on and gearbox back on. We'll nearly be able to get the motor and box in from the top. Like, should we nearly be able to pull the gearbox out from the top, apart from the tail shaft bolts. And that's as simple as it is. So she's there, and pretty much the only reason I'm here this late, because like it's pitch black out, I think it's 12 o'clock or something. Let me check. Yeah, 11 past 12. So Jory made a bet with me. It's more a one-way bet. It's more of him just losing, that's about it. Because he said if I can get the Magna to drive out of the workshop under its own power before he can get his Sylvia going, when his motor's still on the floor, mind you, and he's still got intercooler piping and everything to weld up, and all I've got to do is put the motor in a wiring loom, radiator and all that sort of stuff, and then drive it out, I'll get 500 bucks. So if I can get the Magna running under its own power before he can get his Sylvia running under its own power, I'll make 500 bucks. The plan is tomorrow, come in early, smash this car out. So I'll get the wiring loom, wire it in, and then we'll sort out suss the radiator and everything out, because pretty much will be all standard BA stuff. Hopefully we can use the BA rad and everything, and then intake we'll make that at work, because BA will BA stuff, and the extractors will be the only tough thing. We'll probably have to fabricate them, but if we do, we need to do, it doesn't matter. I have a Pro Mod style manifold, which will bring the collector up the front, and then we can wrap it around and then run it back underneath the car. But we'll see what we want to do. We'll see how we want to go with it. When we get to that part, I might just make a square extractors for it to match with the Sylvia, since we're doing a bet between them both. So I might get him to fabricate some square extractors for the beast. And then I'll see if I can suss a fuel cell in an 044 or something, just so I don't have no surging and I have no problems with that sort of stuff when we're obviously drifting it. She's got to become the practice car. And then we can suss out, later down the track, we can suss AU House steering lock kit, get a little bit more angle in it, so we can have a little bit more fun, and that's where we're at so far. So she's not far, but she's far, and some people's eyes she might be far, but I reckon we're on a roll. We're gonna get it sorted tomorrow, motor boxing tomorrow.
So it's nice and early in the morning, sometime between Christmas and New Year's, and I'm getting a big head start on Chucky right now. He's at home just la la la. I'm here working. There's no way he's gonna make this $500. First thing I need to do before I put the engine in, engine's sitting over there, almost ready to go in. I need to make up a heat shield for this side, and step number one to that is using riv nuts. And if there's a big engine here, I'm gonna struggle. So I'm probably gonna put 2 riv nuts down here, make up some kind of plate. I might even use a piece of the Radner just to really rub it into Chucky. And after that, I think we've just got to clean up the engine bay, and the engine is coming in for the last time. I'm making excellent progress this morning, and Chucky stands no chance at all. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and drill this riv nut in. I'll make up a plate here just for a heat shield for our dry sump lines that are going to run down here to our bulkhead. After that, I see no more roadblocks in this whole setup, and I'm just going to cruise through to victory. Chucky has no chance. Step one, get the riv nut gun. With the rubbish pile, and I think our best bet is going to be this big one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and flatten that out, and I'm going to put the bends in it we need. I'll get it mocked up on the car over there, and then it's go time. So I'm quickly just going to jump on this, straighten it out, and then we're going to measure it out, cut where we need it cut, and this is going to be a perfect little heat shield and out of the Radner. So it's really going to annoy Chucky. Little bit of messing around, this is what I ended up coming up with. So I've written on there Mitsubishi use only, so that's about perfect for our application here. So it's going to fit up in there. A little bit of paint made all the difference on this one. Still not actually sure that it clears our manifold here, but it's going to be pretty close. It's going to stop a lot of that heat getting to the backside here. I might even end up wrapping this in a bit of heat reflective tape or something, but for the moment, this will absolutely do for our application. So a few nutserts, and I've already got that ready to go. So we simply just thread in our bolts, and there you go. One heat shield has been completed this morning. Chucky's still not here, he's still sleeping. So we are definitely getting the head start on this project and making sure we win, ready to show the world the dominance of the S13 and that Radner's nowhere. So there's our heat shield in place. I think it looks pretty snazzy. I mean, I even included some runs just to be a little bit more offensive. So that's all good to go. I think it's now time to finish up a couple of other little jobs. There's just some loose stuff in the engine bay here, and then it's ready to get our mad 2530 in this car and get it making that horsepower. But first things first, I've got to get out of here, grab that engine, and get ready. Well, I've gone right ahead and wiped the engine bay down, and I feel like that's as far as I'm going to go. Everything else I can pretty much tackle with the engine in the car. These are things like plumbing the turbo, going to electric power steering, so just little niggly stuff, but ultimately it is good enough for this to go in. If you don't know what this is a 2530. I'll leave a link up here to where we built it on the channel. This is all fully forged, and we're hoping for about 500 kilowatts. And a lot of this is handmade, so you'll see this scattered through the channel, making all the hot side, the square dumps, etc. So let's get this engine in the car, and then we can finally see what we're up against. And I'm pretty sure that, well, Chucky's still not here, so I don't think he's coming, which means a free day for us, massive progress. He's got no hope. Found out that the dry sump mandrel does not clear. So I'll quickly buzz that off, and then we'll be able to get this engine in. But what a pain in the ass. It's actually making me curious now if the pulley is also going to not fit. So pretty much all the way up against the firewall. I'll sneak it back a little bit, but you can see that side's already touching. So it's diminishing returns. Hopefully we can get it. I might jig around with the car. Maybe I can go up with the car, get the gearbox a bit lower. Every other time I've fitted the engine hasn't been with the gearbox on it, so this is all learning. Oh, thank Christ for that. Holy moly. I've never had an engine I've fitted like 30 times now give me more drama than that. That was simply awful. So I think mainly what was giving me grief is I'd never finally installed the clutch master, so I actually chucked that in. I had to remove that for the install. Other than that, it kind of went pretty good. I don't know why it was so much more difficult than it has been every other time, but I have just test fitted our little heat shield plate that actually does clear. A miss is as good as a mile. And that, my friends, is guesswork. So we did good on that one, although I am probably absolutely knackered. I don't know what else I'm gonna get up today. I'll probably go up on the hoist, mount the gearbox, and then I think this episode's probably done for the moment. I think we're way out in the lead. Chucky still hasn't turned up. Car's got a giant hole in it. Although, I am going to explain the rules right now. So this is the commit line right here. So this line here outside the shop, whoever drives themselves outside the shop under their own power wins. Now, I want the car to be in gear. I don't want it to be on the starter motor. The engine has to run. Now, does it have to have a radiator? No. Does it have to have everything working? No. But who can come past the commit line first wins $500. So I think we're way out in the lead right here. I'm obviously a fair bit ahead with the engine in the car, although there are like 6 million little things that I need to do, and I need to do them right. So we'll see. Chucky's probably going to slam something together with a MIG and a Dream, but I know he's going to come after me chasing this $500. So this isn't the last installment, don't you worry. We've got the engine in the S13. We've had a great day. Thank you very much for watching. Tell your mum to subscribe. I know she's been watching. We'll catch you on a future episode where we're making huge strides with the S13. And don't worry about that white car back there. And before I go, what's your favourite team? Who do you think's going to win? I definitely am on Team S13, but I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, guys.